To be fair, I hit that, and no,
Live.
I didn't get a countdown either today, so never mind. All right. Well, hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas. That's What I Meant. I am here today with some Christmas tree questions with Ian, Sheila, Eric, and Eric. I've got my eggnog. I've got my Christmas cookie. I don't know if you guys are as prepared for this as I am, but you guys can introduce yourselves.
I am Eric, and I'm not prepared. As Christmassy as I get, so that's to say pretty much no.
I'm Sheila Lynn, and I've got the most Christmassy thing there is, and that is a Coke.
And I'm Eric, and I have some wintergreen Altoids for you tonight. Smells like a Christmas tree.
I'm Ian, and I've got some homemade eggnog here, provided by Chris.
Yeah, I made that eggnog.
Yeah, everyone else be jealous.
Pretty good.
We know who the favorite is.
Because you guys didn't come to my party.
I didn't even know you had a party.
That's probably a big part of why you guys didn't come.
That's the giveaway right there.
All right, well, let's get into questions. Like I said today, every question is about Christmas trees. So our first question is, at 211 feet, where was the tallest Christmas tree displayed and in which year?
Is that international?
It is as far as I know, the tallest Christmas tree in the world in the history of Christmas trees.
Japan, because they always go way over.
They have a lot to make up for.
I thought that was like a kaiju joke.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
1958 in Brazil.
Did you just look that up?
No, I'm just throwing
Brazil?
random stuff out.
If you did look it up,
go
you looked it up.
New York City. 1939.
Chris, were these? Is it 211 metric feet?
It's 211 elf feet stacked on top of each other.
Above sea level.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that metric sea level?
That's the sea level that's measured by stacking elf feet on top of each other. That's the standard Christmas measure.
I forgot to.
We are talking about Japan then.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Japan.
Japan?
I'm gonna say Japan. 2000.
Japan 2000. Eric, you said New York. Did you have a year?
I'm going to go with 1939.
Nice.
Good year for Christmas trees.
Yeah, that had to be a good year. Everything else was just shitty, so
It's a good war for
had to
everything.
be good.
Ian, do you have an official guess?
I'm going to say the top of Mount Everest.
So that would be highest tree, not tallest tree. Because I don't think
the highest tree is made of marijuana leaves.
Ironically, the tallest tree could have been the highest tree because it was in Washington State in 1950.
Oh, I was close.
It was also in what is kind of the most depressing example of commercialism ever. It was displayed in a shopping center, in Northgate Shopping Center. So even back in 1950.
It's the tallest shopping center. Gee.
Right?
What?
It's like a shopping mall, but they put it up on its side.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what, though? It's not depressing because nowadays, if you hear about like a major event in a shopping center, it's usually like a shooting or a bombing or something.
Well, that could be Christmassy. I mean, wait, depending on how it's done.
Bang, 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 bang.
If they have those guns that like a little flag comes out that says,
The night Santa went crazy.
There's a lot of songs about this. All right. So we're 0 for 1. We're going to go to question number 2, which is what tie does... I wrote this question weird. What tie does Christmas trees have to ancient Egypt, ancient China, Israel, and pagan Europe?
a bow tie.
Wood.
They all had wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on wood. I like that.
Ian, sticking to facts. That's a good move.
I'm going to say it had something to do with being an evergreen. Something
Eric's on the right track.
green.
Can you repeat the question?
Eternal life kind of thing.
Eric's dead on.
Should I keep going?
All four of them. I mean, you're at the whole answer. So,
Wow.
And it was used in cat litter as a deodorizer. No, I'm off.
oh, let me check. Oh, wow, that's right too. What do you know?
Oh.
Yeah, in ancient Egypt, China, Israel, and Europe, which were places, I guess Israel and Egypt went to talk to each other, but those places didn't see a lot of each other. All of them used evergreens as a symbol for eternal life, much like we do today.
Nice.
Isn't that neat?
And I just guessed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Chris, I think you meant Palestine.
Oh, sorry. The Ottoman Empire, pre-Ottoman Empire. I think they owned Israel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Free Tibet.
well, take it.
Miracle.
All right. Question number 3. This one's pretty straightforward. Who invented Christmas tree lights?
An individual name you want, or what? Gosh,
Somebody you've all heard of.
Humans?
really?
Whoever it was, I just know Edison stole it afterwards. So it doesn't-
So Thomas Edison was the answer I was looking for, but actually you're exactly right. His assistant, Edward Johnson, invented them, and then Thomas Edison took credit.
Oh,
Did you guys prepare for this?
The more amazing part of this fact to me
It's
wasn't,
what Edison did. It's just what he did.
when in doubt, if it's electrical, assume Thomas Edison stole the patent for it.
Or paid for it or something.
Yeah, I just recently learned that he is responsible for the film industry being on the West Coast. Because apparently when moving pictures were a new thing, like he was famous for just suing any film company on the East Coast because he lived in New Jersey. His company was there. And so all the other filmmakers were like, fuck it, let's go far enough away that he's like too lazy to chase us there with a lawsuit. So they ended up in California, Southern California.
It was God's will. It's manifest destiny for cinema.
Okay, so the most interesting part of this fact to me wasn't that the guy who invented light bulbs was also the guy who put them on Christmas trees. Is the fact that putting lights on trees was not a novel idea, and that people have been putting candles in trees since the early 1600s, which means for the better part of 280 years, Christmas was like the time of terrible fire hazards in your home.
yeah, actually, I had stories of my mom growing up. My grandfather would stay awake with a bucket of water next to the tree while all the kids would dance around it. So, yeah,
What did the kids dance around when you guys didn't have a tree?
I don't know.
Just regular
Mulberry bush.
mulberry bush.
All right. On to question number 4, we've got, so the city of Westminster, England, every year it receives a Christmas tree as a thanks for their help in World War II. What city gives them that Christmas tree?
It's not Kankakee, is it?
It is not
Okay.
Kankakee, Illinois.
Yeah, it'll be like
Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh is not a town, but in fact a man who died 6,000 years before World War II.
No, you're thinking of Gilgamesh monster. It's a common misconception. It's
Yeah,
So, like,
still wrong.
is it like Oslo?
It is exactly Oslo.
Oh my goodness!
nice. What? Is that a guess?
Yeah, kind of. I knew there was like a connection. Like, I figured it wouldn't be something obvious like France was all. Just trying to think of what.
once again, we have a thing that in the past was famous for Christmas and in modern times famous for a horrible shooting. Just pointed it out.
I just remember reading a book when I was a kid that was about like the Nazis and invading Norway and like how it was about them sneaking Norway's gold out of the country, like by using sleds. And
Well, they
like,
made up with it by giving him a tree. So yeah, they take all the gold and they give him a tree. Hey,
I don't know if that was I don't think that was the connection, but
Anyway, I'm impressed that we're 3 for 4 right now.
Jesus.
Let's see if we can keep it going.
Trivia.
That's right, Sheila. Let's keep the Christ and Christmas.
because
guys.
I don't know Simpsons trivia, I just know random useless trivia.
Hey, they are a part of history too.
All right, question number 5. We've got another city gifting a Christmas tree. Every year, Nova Scotia gives a Christmas tree to a city. Well, let me back that up, and I'll just restart this whole thing. Question number 5. What city does Nova Scotia give a Christmas tree to every year since 1971? And bonus points if you can figure out why they give them a tree.
I'm going to say Gilgamesh on Oslo with a candlestick.
Yeah.
Wrong.
To New York to remain on good terms.
All right. Not correct, but I like the answer.
Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine. Sheila was in the right region.
Yes.
I was actually thinking Maine too, but
Close.
I don't know, is-
Boston?
Brooklyn?
Boston is right.
Oh, nice.
So now the harder part of the question. Can anybody guess why they give one to Boston?
Was it a dowry?
God, I wish that was the answer.
Jeez.
does it have to do with like the French and Indian War?
No, it's more recent than that.
Is it because, much like people from Nova Scotia, you can't understand people from Boston either, and it's their way of bonding?
They're
What did he say? I don't know. I think they want to give us a tree.
I was trying to figure out exactly what this is. So the reason why, there it is because of something called the Halifax explosion. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
It's a huge party. And by party, I mean it was a disaster in 1917 where a boat full of TNT exploded in the harbor and killed hundreds of people.
Oh yeah. The Halifax.
And then Boston sent them a bunch of supplies. So they said, hey, thanks. And for some reason, if I did my math right, 54 years later, started to give them Christmas trees every year. So I guess it just took that long to put Halifax back together.
Yeah. See, I would have thought it had something to do with the Irish.
The Irish.
Yeah.
Just because of your hat.
It's always the
Irish on the head.
Yeah.
I just like how they waited 54 years. It's like, maybe we should give them a thank you gift.
You think they were like deliberating that whole time? Like it was in their legislature to decide what the gift was, but it took 54 years to settle on something.
Maybe it was 54 years later that finally the Boston mayor was like, you know, you never gave us a thank you card or anything for giving you those supplies.
Hey, Dix.
They gave them wood.
Maybe that's how long it took them to sleep off their hangover.
That's right.
You can't get trees in the United States either. It's a nice gift. What do you say to that? No, we can get those here. I mean,
Right.
that would be nice.
Actually, we produce those.
Can you get us something else?
Send crabs.
Can you re-gift a tree to another city?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they send it to London to Westminster, England every year. All right. Question. What was that? Question number 5. This is question number 6. Who was the first president to put a Christmas tree in the White House?
Got to be George Washington.
No, it's Donald Trump, because he has the courage to do it after Obama's.
Teddy
I actually specifically wrote a note in here about both of the last 2 presidents mentioned. The one about Trump was about how he was the first person to use Christmas trees to create a dystopian hellscape in the White House.
Yeah.
Those blood trees were pretty awesome.
They're the worst. And then Sheila, you're the opposite of right. Teddy Roosevelt actually banned them from the White House for environmental reasons.
Environmental reasons?
Yeah, you didn't want people cutting down trees.
He was a big environmentalist, yeah.
He wasn't good at it. He was just like a big guy and also an environmentalist. I've heard that they use like fox urine sprayed on wild trees to keep people from cutting them down because you can't smell it when it's frozen, in the cold, but when you bring it into your house and it thaws out, it just smells like piss.
I got
It's really bad.
Pick out that tree then, because ours is nasty. I saw our cat pissing on it though, but
You had to break the fox off of it when you cut it down.
Was it Abraham Lincoln?
You are very close. Before Abraham Lincoln.
Before,
if you
but
guys
not
can get the
George
number, I'll count it because there's a good chance you don't even remember this
Is
president.
it Zachary Tyler?
It is not.
Ah,
It is post.
William
Cleveland?
Harrison. Oh, wait,
So
I think that's
Link-
pre.
Lincoln was the 16th president. So we got a 1 out of 15 chance here, guys.
The bad
I guess
we're really terrible at already guessing this.
I'm looking up the list.
It's not Andrew Jackson.
No,
Was
he was
it-
too busy murdering Native Americans.
I don't remember how old he was. Was it George H.W. Bush?
Yeah, was it? No, wait,
I
it
don't-
couldn't have been him. Never mind. John Quincy Adams.
That's too early.
No,
Yep.
too early. Too early. No. Oh,
Are you guys?
Oh.
Zachary Taylor.
Nope, we already guessed him.
Oh, dang,
Are
I
you
wasn't
guys
listening.
ready to be reminded of a president you haven't thought about since grade school?
Yes.
Lay it on me.
It's not Taft, I know. I'm just
Franklin Pierce,
Franklin
President
W.
number 14. I literally don't know anything about him, so as far as I know, his greatest contribution to America is putting the first Christmas tree into the White House.
He invented pierced ears, Chris.
That makes sense. He popularized them. He was like General Sideburns before General Sideburns.
Oh,
Would that
yeah.
be terrible if like in 100, like let's say he actually did like a whole bunch of stuff, but then like that's all that we remember him for? Like what if like in 100 years that's the same thing about Lincoln? People are like, well, he started the Thanksgiving tradition of
Pardoning a
a
turkey.
turkey.
Is there a war around
Yeah,
here?
not really anything else. Like
He had a cool hat.
That's in 100 years after the South rises again and actually takes over the country.
That's right, baby.
So, no, I didn't number these questions. What a huge mistake. All right, this is question number 7. This is by far my favorite question because you guys are going to not even understand what I'm asking. The question is, 98% of Christmas trees are what?
Trees. Wood.
100% of them are trees.
You beat me to it. 98% what?
Caucasian?
decorated.
You know what?
Michael.
Decorated.
No.
No.
oh, our chip are like not sold, so like they just get burned or
Oh,
something.
that's bad.
That's a good guess. That's not what it is, though.
Good. No.
Is it that the trees are racist?
That's 100% of trees, actually. It's a little known fact. Luckily, they don't have mouths, so it's hard to tell.
They always look down upon cross pollination.
Yeah. They're part oak.
Hey, I learned in Sunday school that's a sin.
Let's see. 98% of trees.
So think we can even narrow this down. I think just like this doesn't include artificial Christmas trees.
Is it-
They aren't used for anything.
No, that's actually a really good guess. Really good guess too.
Is it that they're sold in the United States?
You know what? I think this fact is 98% of Christmas trees in the United States.
Son of a bitch, Chris.
Is it about the height? Is it about the height of the trees?
It doesn't have to do with height. It has to do with
Girth.
Disposal.
the opposite of disposal.
Oh, 98% are kept up year round.
Is it that they're grown on farms?
It is exactly that they are grown on farms.
Oh,
Isn't that
That's
crazy? Only
wild.
2% of Christmas trees every year are grown in the wild.
Mm.
Which
What happens when you get a cottage industry? They start growing themselves.
Terrible. Excellent execution.
We can't top that, so we'll just go on to question number 8. Question number 8. What were the first artificial Christmas tree needles made out of? So the
Actual
green-
hypodermic needles.
Yes.
It's true. The first Christmas trees were invented by cocaine addicts.
I think you mean heroin trees, Chris.
Sure, whatever. I've never done either. I haven't watched enough Breaking Bad to know how they're done.
No.
Isn't Breaking Bad meth? So it's
It is.
neither of those things.
And I've watched all of it, so
You guys have a lot of catching up to do.
It was made of needles, but it was from, doctors. Doctors just wanted an easier way for children to, just get their shots.
there's the vaccine
And a
tree.
lot of them.
Yeah.
Kid, go
All
in
right,
up
Timmy.
that tree.
Run through those woods at full speed.
I'm going to say wires, I would think, to be the first needle.
So that would have been my guess. This is a little...
Is it worse than that? Is it glass?
No, it's actually like very nice and soft.
Is it feathers?
It is feathers.
Huh.
It was feathers dyed green were the first needles. Again, my favorite part of the fact isn't that they were feathers. It was that when we got civilized and we went, these don't look like needles. We need to put real needles on. We started using toilet brush bristles that had been dyed green. So
Yeah.
everybody's
Sweet.
Christmas tree was just a huge toilet brush.
Storage.
At least you can use it afterwards.
It's true. You just break off a branch. It's actually kind of a great solution because I feel like there's nothing that I feel grosser doing than like scrubbing out a toilet and then putting the toilet brush back into that little like.
How many
Yeah.
toilet brushes do you guys go through in a month?
Well, one you
72.
just use the same one, but I would prefer to just use it and then throw it out because it was just the branch of my tree.
What's a toilet brush? What do you mean?
It's some people call it a toothbrush also.
Oh, right, of course. That's what I meant. Toilet brush. That's
Ian,
weird.
shut your toilet. Well, that one went quick, so we'll pop down to question number 9. We're almost to the double digits.
Ooh.
Here is a play the odds question. Where is the most expensive Christmas tree in the world, which is valued at $11.4 million?
Dubai.
Dubai is right. Always say Dubai anytime the question is where is it expensive anything?
Anytime it's like a lot of money. Yeah. Dubai. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so fast on that.
You didn't even get a chance, Derek.
I was trying to figure out how to show you guys a picture of this tree because it's absolutely ridiculous, but I can't. I'm not technologically savvy, so we're just going to go to
What?
question number 10.
Wait. What makes it so expensive?
Toilet brushes. Really nice ones.
They don't have them there, so it's rare. Dude, there's a video of, I think, Joe Rogan on tour in Dubai in his hotel room, and he starts filming, so you see in from his phone camera the perspective that there's this like insane toilet in his hotel, right? And it's got like 2 different what do you call them? Bidet heads inside the bowl, and then like all these controls on the side of it, like an armrest. And he's like, so this is a really cool toilet that they have here. But then, and he turns around, there's another one, like a different type of toilet directly across from it that has like other controls. And they're both obviously made for like a person to poop into. It's not like, a high and a low one or something. Like they're the same ass level toilets, but there's just 2 of them facing each other in his hotel room. And he's
So
like,
you have like
how the
apartment-
fuck do people shit here?
Holding
You know, you would-
By staring into each other's eyes.
That's
I was going to say that's even weirder. My old roommate and I looked at an apartment where there was like a pass-through bathroom, but it passed through into another bathroom that then passed into the hallway. And the plumbing, clearly they didn't want to spend a lot of money on plumbing, so the 2 toilets were next to each other. So if you opened the door, you could hold hands with the person pooping on the other toilet.
That's
Oh.
perfect.
Sadly, we didn't move into that house, but
Well, you get plenty of leverage that way, I would think.
that's true. It's good to stabilize.
Yeah.
So I found a
Push!
picture of the tree. And I don't know why it cost how much it did, because it looks like any standard tree in like a hotel lobby.
So I found why it costs so much. It's a big tree. They said it's about 40 feet. It's, a normal big Christmas tree in a hotel lobby. but it's decorated, instead of just ornaments, it's decorated in roughly $11 million worth of jewelry. It's just like covered in precious stones and gold.
Precious.
Precious.
And is it like a giving tree where you can just go and like feel like an orphan in need of precious stones?
Well, they put all the jewelry up high, but then you can pull off the tags. And the tags tell you like what other pieces of expensive jewelry you can come and put back on the tree.
Man, that is full circle, like terrible capitalism.
Late stage
You
capitalism.
can't touch anything on this tree because you can't afford it. But here's a piece of paper that tells you what it is and how much it costs.
All right, we're now officially in the double digits. This is going to be another weird question. What uncommon form of transportation is a common method of getting Christmas trees off of tree farms?
A unicycle.
The trees ride them out on their own.
Well, they use a bunch of college kids who are taking their circus acts class, and that's how they.
Yeah.
A horse.
A horse. It is not a horse. I think that would have been my guess.
Is it a sleigh?
It is not a sleigh.
A golf cart.
Not a golf cart either. You guys are thinking
Buggy.
Too much?
you guys are thinking very land-based.
Snowmobile?
A submarine?
Submarine? What?
Fill
Is
them
it
up. That's why they're shaped
dirigible?
like big long trees.
A dirigible.
What?
Dirigible, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
closest.
A trebuchet. Launch that sucker out of there.
I
I want a Christmas tree farm.
I absolutely would be on board for starting a GoFundMe to make a Christmas tree trebuchet.
That would be sweet.
No, it is an aircraft, but it is not a dirigible.
Helicopter?
It is a helicopter.
Really?
They literally like run down straps from the bottom of a helicopter, strap them up around a whole bunch of logs, and then they airlift them out of the farm because the farms are so
See,
big.
I would have done one of those cut your own if that was the case. I didn't know that.
Whenever
Get in the helicopter.
they give you a helicopter, yeah, it's
That's
incredible.
nice.
Okay, so this year, my mom, we go to cut down a Christmas tree from a farm every year. And my mom found this farm in Wisconsin where after you've cut your tree down, they have a Newfoundland dog, you know, those big black wolf looking ones, come and like drag your tree on a sled back to your car.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's ridiculous.
You need to
And
send us all that farm.
It was insanely crowded. Like,
I could see that.
you could just carry your tree, or you could wait an extra 20 minutes for a dog to come and drag it.
Well,
The thing is like,
Did they have multiple dogs?
even if it was an extra charge, yes.
No. Honestly, I always feel like those dogs are the happiest dogs because they actually like do stuff other than just spend all day sitting around the house waiting for their owner to come home.
Yeah. I bet they love the exercise.
They said that about slavery. I don't know. It's like, come on.
Why?
Full of trees. Dogs pulling trees.
You have to ruin a beautiful thing.
And we'll go on to question number 11 after that.
there's a picture of one of them.
Jeez.
Look at that huge tree
Oh.
and that
Let's see that again.
comparatively
Oh, you'd
small
be
dog.
smiling.
All right, that dog does look happy.
What a pretty doggo.
All right. If I'm gonna have to move on because we keep talking about dogs, we're never gonna get to question number 11.
No, please do. I'm just going to distract you with this.
Oh, hold on a sec. Oh, look
Oh,
at that
yeah. All right, go ahead, Chris.
Can
Sorry.
we get that dog to be the extra member of the That's What I Meant team in the future? He can just sit off to the side and he'll just pop up every once in a while.
Wait, but what about my kitty?
That works. Any kind of animal. We're short on animals, so.
Yar.
All right, question number 11. This is the closest to the target. I'm guessing nobody's going to get it dead on. But according to TMZ, my favorite and most trusted news source, what did the National Tree Lighting Ceremony in Washington, D.C. cost this year? So how much did we as taxpayers pay for the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony?
I'm going to guess $350,000.
All right.
1 million.
15 million.
I was thinking like 7.5 million.
Then you guys all went really big. So Ian wins by default. It was $141,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not a crazy amount of money until you consider that like it's to turn on a Christmas tree, which doesn't cost very much money.
Oh, I thought there'd be security and all that stuff.
I was gonna say, is it though, like, because you have like the security, all the people hanging around?
Sure. That probably doesn't get counted into the cost. I'm guessing it's probably all of the like they have to buy a stage and do like a speech and do lighting and do music and they pull in all these things and a whole bunch of people make a whole bunch of money to turn on a Christmas tree. But I just felt like we should all know as citizens of the United States what we're paying for.
Thank you, Chris.
No problem.
Yeah, but we've been doing that for a long time.
What I did not look up, and I'm kind of sad I didn't now, is what Franklin Pierce did for the Christmas tree. And
That was like 50 cents, I think.
I mean, he didn't do a big lighting ceremony unless it was with candles. Christmas lights weren't invented yet.
Was
But
he?
nipple piercings were thanks to him.
But it was the national nipple piercing ceremony.
And it also coincidentally cost about $140,000.
But
A lot of nipples that day.
in $1835, so like roughly $730 quadrillion in current money.
Or if you're in Mexico, infinity pesos.
Exactly. So that brings us to the end of the quiz. Does anybody have any
How do you end
Christmas-
on 11 questions and not 12 for Christmas trees?
Yeah.
well, I got tired of researching. You know what? I'll look up a 12th one.
Researching.
5 gold rings.
All
While
right.
Chris is researching, I saw someone point out on Twitter today that 8 Maids of Milking is probably the only of the 12 days of Christmas that you could masturbate to.
I didn't know. I thought it was the partridge one.
Still gonna say 5 gold rings. People love to shout that out.
Depends what the rings are. Like 5 gold cock rings? Yeah.
I'm
I could.
saying.
I mean, I'm sure some people like the Lords of Leaping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys aren't the only ones that masturbate.
That's true.
I'm happy we're breaking important ground on this episode.
Yes, thank you.
It doesn't have to deal with sexual preference either.
Me, mommy was kissing Santa Claus. What's your
All right.
favorite
So,
Christmas song?
You know what? On that topic, okay, what's worse for a kid's like upbringing, mental state? Okay, thinking that his mom is cheating on his dad with Santa.
Probably worse that he thinks his mom is cheating on his dad with Krampus, if that's your next question.
Oh, geez, that's all.
Okay, third option, yes. Or seeing his dad dressed up as Santa and realizing that there is no Santa, and it's all just a ploy to get some tang.
The first one. Most of us get over it. You don't get over the cheating thing as easily.
But I'm thinking, like, if you're still young enough to believe in Santa, you probably don't appreciate the weight of cheating on. Oh, is that Cody? You don't like appreciate the weight of marital infidelity.
You also don't appreciate the call of tang.
That's true.
Plus, if you find out, then you're going to be ahead of all the other kids in your class, and then you get to be the cool one that reveals the truth.
I'm adopted.
All right, you guys ready for this question?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you found it.
This is another closest to. Question number 12. On average, how many bugs and insects does a Christmas tree contain?
135.
Dubai.
This wasn't money. Don't guess Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
Oslo, Norway.
4,000.
How many bugs and insects? A dozen? 12 insects of Christmas?
12 bugs of Christmas.
1,200.
All right. I forgot kind of what some people's guesses were. So, rundown. Everybody, give me your guess.
135.
1,200.
12.
2,000.
Eric, you win. You're the closest, and you're still short by 28,000. On average, Christmas tree contains about 30,000 bugs and insects.
Jeez.
Nice.
The appropriate reaction. Alrighty. Well, there's 12 Christmas tree questions. Hope everybody enjoyed them. Christmas message for our viewers before we end this episode.
What's in your eggnog?
It's eggnog plus rum and vodka.
Sweet. Oh, that looks like
And a lot of nutmeg. It is delicious.
nutmeg. Yeah.
So I have finished my eggnog. Which means it is time for me to go and eat dinner. I hope you all have a good night and a Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.